Talk about who influences you. I know this, that I can get way too serious, and so, little kids influence me. I need little kids in my life because, they teach me to be silly, a little irresponsible. I have 90 nieces and nephews. I really do. They all live in Utah. By the way, I am the favorite uncle. Duh. Costs me a lot of money, but I'm the favorite uncle. When I'm hanging out with the family, I don't want to sit at the adult table. That's boring to me. I want to sit with the kids. And I'm not sitting with the kids at a fancy restaurant trying to teach them how to be all proper. I'm like, what do you guys want to do? Because my world's way too serious, right? See, little kids, they play big. They play big. My daughter, you give her a gift, she opens the gift. What does she want to play with? The box. Boxes are cool, right? See, we sometimes play small. We play small. No, I'm not going to show up. They don't need me. I'm not going to volunteer. We play small. Little kids play big. They have their little action figurines. Look, I'm Superman. I'm Batgirl. They're not like, I'm Loser Man. I'll never amount to much, man. Some of you have that same attitude about yourself, even that same language about yourself. You play small. Playing small on any level, who does that serve? It serves no one, right? And, I find that when it comes to developing leadership, people are working on what I call their wishbone. They're working on their wishbone. I wish I were smarter. I wish I were skinnier. I wish I had more talent. Better opportunities. Where's that going to get you? Or the other thing that I hear that confuses me is people are like, well, I'm just trying to find myself. And I'm like, where do you look? You don't find yourself as a leader. You create yourself as a leader. And how do you do that? By working on your backbone. See, I've never assumed that I'm the smartest person in a room. Especially if John is in the room. I'm not the smartest person in a room. Now, you know what? I can let that hold me back. I can walk into that room and see John and go, oh, John's here. I'm not worthy. I'm just going to stand over here. Or, you know what? I can get all confrontational. Who invited John? Why is he here? And some of you do that. You walk in and you think, wow, she's prettier than I am. He's more talented than I am. And then you diminish with your own brilliance, your own potential. And I get it that you've been knocked down, right? A nasty divorce knocked you down. The staff walked out on you, knocked you down. If we went around the room, I bet each one of us have a story to tell. Did you know that Walt Disney was fired by a newspaper editor for not being creative enough? Did you know that Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team? Did you know that the Beatles were turned down by record executives who said that guitar-playing bands are on their way out? So let me ask you something. Did these people fall down or did they fall up? And see, sometimes you will use your story of how you got knocked down to not show up, to not be present, to not connect with people. A good friend of mine says that she's been sober for 10 years, but in recovery for only the last 2 years. You show up to the Millennium experience and think, well, I'm here. That's all I have to do. No, that's not enough. You gotta connect, you gotta be present. It wasn't until I started doing volunteer work that I felt like my life started to come together. See, prior to that, I thought, well, when I get my life together, then I'll do volunteer work. I used to say, I'll go to the gym whenever I'm in the mood. I never went. The breakthrough came when I said, I'll go Monday through Friday, and my mood will have nothing to do with it. Right? We try to speed through life. We speed yoga, we speed walk, we speed date. I caught myself trying to speed read through my daughter's bedtime story. What used to be Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs became Snow and three dwarfs. What should be the most magical, incredible part of my day, I wasn't present for that. Here's the bottom line. Because you got knocked down, you're not present. It's almost like Gone with the Wind. You know, I'll never go hungry again. Because a staff walked out on you, I will never be hurt again. And so you built up a wall. You have all this armor on you. See, leadership is not always about strength. Leadership sometimes is about vulnerability. Sometimes it's about being transparent. So with my daughter, yeah, you know, bedtime stories are important to her. Her favorite book is called Best Pet of All. So, because it's important to her, it's now important to me. Bottom line, if it's important to you on what it takes to be successful, it's your job to know. No excuse, no blame, it's your job to know. So, I made Best Pet of All important to me. On Monday, I asked my mother if I could have a dog. A dog is a good pet, I said. No, she said, dogs are too messy. On Tuesday, I asked my mother if I could have a dog. A dog is a very good pet, I said. No, she said, dogs are too loud. On Wednesday, I asked my mother if I could have a dog. A dog is the best pet of all, I said. No, she said, no dogs. On Thursday, I asked my mother if I could have a dragon. A dragon, she said. I have never heard of a dragon for a pet. She thought a bit. If you can find a dragon, you can keep it for a pet. Dragons are not easy to find. There were no dragons in the park. There were no dragons at the beach. There were no dragons in the woods. There were no dragons at the zoo. At last, I found a dragon. This dragon was at the drugstore. He was wearing dark glasses and a hat. I asked the dragon to come home with me. The dragon said no. You can sleep in my bed, I said. He still would not come. Are you enjoying this? You can play with my toys, I said. The dragon said yes. Dragons like to play with toys, but they do not like to put them away. They do not like to help with chores, and they make a mess in the kitchen. They roast hot dogs in the living room, and they dance to loud music all night long. My mother did not like this dragon. She asked the dragon to please leave. The dragon would not go. Then she told the dragon to leave now. The dragon still would not go. Finally, my mother got angry. She stomped her foot. She told the dragon to leave this minute or else. The dragon just shook his head. He went back to eat his spaghetti in the bathtub. Too bad we do not have a dog, I said. Dragons do not like dogs. The dragon looked worried. Dragons are afraid of dogs, I said. The dragon began to shake. A dog would chase the dragon away, I said. The dragon ran to my toy box and jumped inside. Maybe you are right, my mother said. Maybe we need a dog. I put a sign in the window, dog wanted. Soon there was a knock at the door. It was a dog. The dragon saw the dog, he grabbed his hat and ran out the door. Thank goodness we have a dog, said my mother. A dog is a good pet. My dog wagged its tail. Yes, I said, a dog is the best pet of all.